Do we have more of that pasta in stock? No. These are the end times. Hi, how may I help you? Okay. Yep, you've come to the right place. This is it. Not hard to miss. What do you think of our store so far? Yeah. It's tough out here on these streets, I know. I'm just barely surviving, trying to make a living, doing what I do, trying not to get my shop closed down. Yeah. Yeah, did you hear about Agenda 27? Well, they're basically going to shut all the prepper stores down pretty soon because we're helping too many people, apparently. Well, anyway, how may I help you? Well, that's coming with a lot of questions. So, let's focus on one thing at a time. What's the first thing that you would like to know? Okay. Sure, I can go into the food. Yeah. We're basically a food pantry for some people who can't afford their next meal. This is a small town, so we're here to help. I'm not originally from this town, as you can tell by my accent, but once in a while you'll hear the southern part of it, with enunciations and such. But you're obviously a newbie. I can tell when you walked in this door. You don't have much situational awareness, which means you're not really looking around your environment. You kind of were stuck on your phone, nose glued to the phone. And, when you are a prepper, you assume anyone is a threat, anyone is a danger, and you do not trust anyone. So you'll never catch me walking around with my nose in the phone. In fact, I don't even have a phone. But anyway, so, yeah. And it's because I prefer, to answer your question, it's because, not to be rude, but it's because I prefer not to pay a phone bill during these times and days. I'd rather not be a slave to the system and do my own thing, right? Money can but only buy you happiness for about 3 minutes and 40 seconds last time I checked. So, for a newbie, you'll want this dry goods, alright? So look around for the dry goods first. That'll help you survive in a crisis. And if we are in Revelations, which obviously we are, you're gonna need this to get through, especially with the coming empty shelves next month, in the month of May. You're just gonna need these dry goods. Oh, you didn't hear about the empty shelves? I mean, look at my shelves. They're pretty darn empty. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat. So, this one has a lot of good vitamins you need, like niacin, riboflavin, thiamine, folate, all that stuff. So, get you a good pasta. Doesn't have to be angel hair or nothing, but just get you a good pasta that has all them vitamins, okay? Dry goods will last forever. Forget the expiration date, okay? These things will last, alright? Stop listening to the expiration date with dry goods. Alright, so stockpile as much as you can, put them in bins, and keep them in their packaging. If you really are paranoid about freshness, take it out of that cardboard. Your best bet is tossing it in a glass jar and sealing it, okay? And do not open it. The more you open it, the more oxygen gets in, the more it messes up your dry goods. And it keeps the bugs and pests away. Yeah. A lot of times people come here for mice traps and stuff because they don't know how to properly seal and store their food. And think in the future. This is part of your preparation since you want to know about physical and spiritual preparation. you have to think long term. You have to think ahead. You can't just think 5 months out anymore, my dear friend. You got to think 5 to 10 years out, okay? Because these end times they last a long time. This is not going to be over in 10 years. You know, I mean, it might, but you know, you gotta think also 20, 30 years if you're still around. How does that look like? How are you gonna survive? So, you know, I know you're a newbie, so I'm not gonna go too far today with you. Comfort food. You gotta get what makes you happy to get through these times and days. I don't care how poor you are, you can get some peeps, alright? If you have to choose between that subscription online or peeps, just get you some darn peeps, okay? I mean, you can get like 10 of these for a Netflix sub, so I'm just saying. Get peeps. Stockpile. When you stockpile, you gotta always think ahead. You gotta think, I'm gonna enjoy this up to a year from now, you know? How does your prep goal look like? What is your budget financially, you know? If you make 10 grand a month, you can probably afford to stockpile 1-2 years in advance. If you make 5 grand a month, maybe 6 months tops, right? So, and it depends if you live alone or with someone else to help your expenses. So just prioritize your needs based on your income. Don't overdo it. I say topping off your prep should never top off more than 10-20% of your bank account. You know, don't overdo it. The sweet spot's 15% of your income should go to preps if you care deeply enough. And you know, a lot of people don't follow through. They make it a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna prep because my auntie Cheryl told me in Nebraska, and they're impressed by their 10 gun safes and the 500 grams of gold they have, and the basement filled with dry goods. It looks like a grocery store down there. And they have the chicken coop outside. You know, they have the horse and the cow, right? But then you come to do it and you find out it's harder than you think, and it's a lot to manage. And you just give up. You throw in the towel. You're like, sorry, Auntie Cheryl, I can't do this no more. So, you know, yeah. So, I'll get into the more spiritual aspect later, but you gotta get you some snack bars, okay? Alright. With protein's your safest bet. I don't care what the doctors have to say. This has the nuts. You need some nuts in your life. And some sugar to get you through, okay? To give you some energy. Because if you're worried about zombies, you're going to need something to cheer you up, right? If you're worried about the power going out, you know, look what's happening now in Spain, Portugal, Cuba, Puerto Rico. Yeah, so something's changing with the sun, clearly, and the way it reacts to the world. So if the power goes out, you kind of go mad, you know. You run the phone, the electronics, the computer, the Netflix, the radio, the screens, your iPad, and then all that's gone. Not even a light bulb left. What are you going to do? You need some comfort. So this is part of comfort food, but also this is part of like making you feel better. When you have a snack bar, it fills you up for quite a while, especially if you have to kind of go hungry for the night. At least that snack bar will hold you over for the night. All right. You got to ration your food too. Okay. So, you know, don't start stockpiling 3 meals a day. You know, think 1-2 meals a day. You know, it'd be great if you think and can do stockpile for 3 meals a day. You might as well go to the camping aisle at Walmart, get you those dry goods, get you those prepper supply buckets that last 30 years. Fine. But you're still going to need the collapsible stove with the charcoal. You're still going to need a propane tanks, many of them, and the propane stove oven. You're going to need to know how to start your own fire. You know, so again, you're just getting started, my friends. So I'm just showing you the basics. But people don't think about it. You need some snack bars. Because if you have a lot of snack bars, they're space saving. They're densely packed with those nutrients in a tiny space. So that'll save you space in your basement or your storage facility. And also get you what you need with sustenance and nourishment, you know. I wouldn't personally put your preps in a storage unit. That's an awful terrible idea. I don't care how bougie the place looks and how air conditioned it is and how safe and secure they claim it is. You might as well put your silver in a security deposit box if you're going to do that and be foolish. And never, ever tell people where you put your preps. Don't be dumb. So, chamomile tea. Alright. This, if you have an upset tummy, you need to relax, you know. You're hearing awful things on the news, and you need to go away in hiding in your secret bunker that you dug underground. Which you should never do. That will destroy the foundation of your house if you do it below your house. Again, don't be a dummy. But, you need something to calm you down, and herbs will give you those healing properties if a doctor is not available, because that doctor got to go and hide in too. You think that doctor will be there if he's not getting his $300K salary? What kind of fool you think I am? I know people. So, you're going to need this hydration tube, okay? They sell these in Europe mostly. This is good for exercise, you know, if you're out tilling the lawn and the garden and the farm, and it gives you just the hydration that water can't supply. If you overhydrate, which typically people who are stressed out tend to do, you're going to fall behind on your needs and your kidneys' needs. And again, you got to think about healing yourself, nurturing your own body's needs without that physician nearby in an emergency crisis. That's what prepping is about, preparing in case something goes to SHT, all right? Yes, exactly. You know the basics already. So, this is a good one, all right? Just you pop it open, you know? Pop it open. They often smell like vitamins or something. Put one tablet, dissolve it in the water. Makes the water taste better. Gives you all them electrolytes, all them purifications in that water. I like it. I like it a lot. You also can use coconut water to hydrate you. I highly advise, and this is a new thing I learned with stockpiling, coconut water. I said, what is this coconut water? Do I live in Thailand or something? I don't need coconut water. And then they're like, no, you need it. You need it. Preppers kept telling me, you need it. This is the best new thing, like, to stockpile, because, you know, especially if you can't purify your water, you know, the water tap gets shut off because of radiation or something crazy happens to our society. You know, you're going to have to get that hydration without getting water. So this is all protected. This is sealed, you know. Malachi coconut, I don't know what that means, but has zinc, potassium, vitamin E. It has a little caffeine naturally too, so it'll give you that energy boost, and it will probably taste like SHT, but at least it's gonna give you what you're looking for. All right. Yeah, good so far. You follow me so far? It's not too much, right? I'm not overwhelming you. Good, because if you're already overwhelmed, then honey, let me tell you something. This may not be for you. It takes a specific type to prep, a specific personality to do this long term. And if you're not ready for it, one bit of advice with this is don't just listen to me. Follow your instincts and your survival instinct. And that's something you have to strength train, because society today teaches you, just buy that car, drive to that job, get that paycheck, go home and die. Basically is what it teaches you. At the end of the day, it all boils down to that. You've been programmed from school to birth. So that suppresses your survival instinct. That tells you, I'm going to give my power away to someone else, a higher power, a governing power, and not me. And I'm not going to take charge and responsibility for myself because I trust completely in what I'm being told and what I'm being given. Period. That's what it boils down to. So you're basically giving your power away. So when you claim your power back, you take control of your life and you take measures as such. So that's in alignment with spiritual and physical preparation. Since you've asked for those things, again, I'll get into that discussion in a bit if you let me finish. Thank you for not interrupting me, by the way, because this is a lot to say. But interrupt anytime you have any question. Just raise your hand. But what I will say is it's empowering, it's freeing, and it gives you a sense of peace knowing that you have all your preps. And, if you keep them secure, I wouldn't even trust the security system nowadays, but you have the right locks and cameras and stuff like that, codes to every door, codes to every safe. You should be fine. Extra keys hidden away in secret places, bury things underground if they're of high value, as long as you store them properly. You should be a-okay. All right. My favorite is to put a pet gravestone over a gold burial site. You can pretend like, I don't know, your cat passed or something, but they didn't actually pass. It's just a fake gravestone, and then that's where you know where you buried your gold. I'm just saying, that's a little word of advice. All right, so enough talking. Let me get to my point. Food. Okay, this all counts with food. Drink is food. All right, anything that you need sustenance for, like hydration, things like teas, vitamins, all that. Let's get to the basics. You need this, okay? It's in line with food preps. Natural herbs, all right? So don't just get that fake tea bag crap. Get the natural remedies, the pure 100% essentials from the earth. Raw, pure herbology. Smell that goodness. Tinctures as well. Get your tea tree oil. All right, for unexpected things that you'll need. Get your lavender oil. Help you relax. Rub some on your feet before bed. Okay, get all of that. All the stuff that you're gonna need, get it. Stuff that gives you comfort. Stuff that provides you peace. God-given things that come from the earth. You're gonna need all that to survive. If wait time at the doctor's looks like a year plus. All right, you're gonna have to fend for yourself. That's what it looks like. I mean, not to get too deep and spiritual, but have you read this book? This tells you what's coming, to the core of it, down to the root, and how that's gonna look like for you. Yes, we all have different beliefs, and by no means am I pushing this on you, or do you have to believe, but let me just give you a little sample of what them end days looks like. Okay. Let's get to the revelations. Alright. So before all the blessings and the 1,000 years of peace come, you gotta think about what's about to happen. Alright. So here we are. And I heard, here we are, Revelation chapter 16, and I heard a great voice. This is part of your spiritual prep, so pay attention, yo. A great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, "Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth." And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angels of the waters say, "Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art, and wast, and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy." And I heard another out of the altar say, Even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. I mean, you get the point. Not pretty, all right? Very, very ugly. Very, very nasty times. And that's by no means going to happen all at once. So, yeah, I've been warning about that sun, the fire of the sun. Like, it's gonna wipe so many people out when they're not ready for that solar flare to hit. Get you some conservatives like this one. Store-bought or make your own. Newbies will never learn how to make their own. You gotta be kind of intermediate and talk to some preppers and watch them do the canning to figure it yourself out, okay? It's not that incredibly difficult. I just think some preppers' arrogance makes it seem like it is. This is red cabbage with apple. So cabbage has tons of vitamins that you need. All right, you might not get nearly as many vitamins from one like this, because they put so many things in these. All these are natural, I'd say. This, you might still get a good amount. Red cabbage, water, sugar, vinegar, apple puree, salt, and spices. So, I mean, it's non-GMO, no preservatives. Okay, good. Gluten-free. So this is a good one. So, I mean, I make sure we sell good ones here. It's made in Poland, actually. Yeah, Polish food's delicious. You ever try that? But yeah, you gotta also get used to, preparing physically for your stomach's needs. Like, not going out and eating at that buffet all the time, or having your needs met at that favorite restaurant, with nourishment. When it comes to like, oh, I'm gonna get my favorite dish, that may not be around any longer. So you're just gonna have to get used to living on less for some time. And we all saw this coming years ago. It has nothing to do with any one person in particular. It's just obviously what just has been coming. It's written, it's predetermined way ahead of time. And I always say, no one man has any power over us, just the Lord. So that's that. Get you your vitamins, your natural remedies in the form of capsules. This happens to be milk thistle with dandelion root, good for liver. It's an antioxidant. Okay, so, yep. Make sure these are topped off. These are considered dry goods. They have an expiration, but do they? Just keep prepping. Keep stashing. Stack it to the raft or stack it to the roof, Don't stop. If that room has a little more extra space, fill it up, all right? Make sure fire prevention safety is a must, all right? Because you don't want to burn that house down and then lose all your stuff. That's why I say don't keep everything in just one place. Have trustworthy people you can rely on. But also, when someone goes hungry, doesn't matter how much you trust or rely on them, they're going to eat your food. So don't just be stocking your meals at their home, because you don't know their financial situation. They could be lying to you. Even if you trust them, can you really trust people? I personally don't. I personally just, people are unpredictable. People change. We change. Relationships change. Just rely on yourself. You're going to be your own best friend. And that's my spiritual advice for you next, is to just work on yourself. Work on your connection, your relationship to the Lord. Source, higher power, universe, whatever you want to call that. Just focus on you and that higher up connection, all right? And that's going to get you through, okay? Because while there is a storm outside, you are going to be steadfast and strong and still during that storm, okay? Imagine a tornado going by and you're that tree rooted to the ground, while others are swinging and flying and confused and lost, and all their illusions are destroyed during these times. And everything they have is just gone. You're going to be confident in that there's a higher source that helps me, that loves me, that watches and protects me. All right? Even if you just believe in one angel, I'm telling you, whether that's an angel through a person or an actual spiritual, physical angel, whatever the case may be, you got to believe in something. This is no longer the time to be iffy or swing the fence here and there. You got to be firm in your beliefs and your ways about one way. And the way for me is through God. And, if that's the way for you, I say that's the best bet. Trust me, I've tried everything. I've tried all ways, means. Everything always ends up disappointing me, hurting me in some way, shape, or form. God has never disappointed. And I've seen that work through other people as well. And, be blessed in incredible ways as well. So focus on that connection to something higher than you, because it's not about you. During these times, it's going to actually completely take the ego out the door. And, people are just going to focus on survival. And that's what it boils down to. And so, prepping for the future. Now you may ask, what if this doesn't happen? What if we live in a utopia where everything is just perfect and beautiful and abundant? Fine, but at least you have an incredible collection, and you can always have an abundance of that comfort food, and you can always share an abundance with other people. In general, you're prepping just in case, all right? So, yeah, if you believe in your own destruction and demise, that is exactly what you'll get at the end of the day. So don't prep with the energy and intention of this is doom and gloom, because that's going to make you not want to prep. That's going to bring you down and make you feel like crap. You got to prep with the intention that this is going to build you that better future, that abundance that you're looking for. And so your abundant life is going to show up in that way and bring you more abundance. When you spend and invest in yourself, it only comes back to you. So think in terms of that, my friends. So physically, I'll get to that physical prep soon. You gotta get hearty meals like this one, okay? Canned goods, can never go wrong with having some canned goods. Just make sure they're not dented, and make sure you top off the preps in alignment with the expiration. So eat through your preps that are going to expire. Unfortunately, with canned food, you gotta listen to the expiration date, at least within a few days, maybe a week. But because the tin, it will trust me, I know, it will destroy your stomach. So, don't eat these all the time. This should not be your only source of food and reliability. This should be like maybe once, twice a week tops, just to get you through. It really does mess with some people and their digestive guts. So, I no longer push canned food. It's no longer the greatest thing since sliced bread, but wise to have some, for those that can stomach it and tolerate it. A good old soup, you never go wrong. But still, canned food is canned food. It's not the healthiest choice at the end of the day. If you can grow your own garden, grow your own food, fine, do that, But again, not a newbie bit of advice, so I don't know what to tell you. Maybe next time around you come through these doors, I can dig into that a little more, no pun intended. But yeah, so there's so much, to prep for. This is just food alone, so this doesn't even go into other stuff. But do you have any questions so far? Physically, you're going to be doing a lot of physical labor. If you do have a garden, you're going to have to probably exercise a little bit here and there to keep your strength up. When you're in survival mode, though, you don't have much energy. That's the thing. So you want to prep your body well ahead of time to give you that energy you need. I'm just going to be honest, in the survival crisis, if you are having a little extra in terms of weight, that's actually a plus, because your body will just burn that off right away, and you won't be really as hungry. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about how you look, but I would worry if it's debilitating, if you struggle to walk, just need a car or chair everywhere you go, or you can't really stand up more than 5 minutes. That's a problem when it comes to survival. You're going to have to work on that ahead of time to make sure that's in check, because again, if there's no doctor around, what are you going to do? How are you going to get through? And I would print out all the medical advice I could possibly print out ahead of time, keep it in a folder, in a safe, and have that on hand, because if the internet goes out, which is my prediction in the next 4 or 5 years, it might, you're going to have all of that information on file, okay? Yeah, because I have a feeling like, it's just a feeling like it will be too powerful, and information will be too powerful, so only certain people can use it, Yeah, so that might be suppressed with time, but get it while you can. Research, look it up. Be careful where you research, not everything is reliable, including AI. So, yeah, but so every day should be started with prayer, I would say, to the best of your ability, at least. God understands if you miss a day. He doesn't care if you miss a day. He just cares that you have a relationship with him. So, but that includes mostly a relationship with yourself. Are you keeping yourself in check? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of your needs, right? He doesn't want you to just talk to him. He wants you to talk to yourself too and check in with you, all right? He got enough people to talk to. Focus on you, right? And cut out any toxic relationships, friendships, people that are looking at your prep and stuff like you're crazy and you lost it and you're out of your mind, right? Cut that toxicity out of your life, because that's not going to encourage you to keep prepping. So, just keep eating healthy, Don't just eat your preps, Don't just already start as if it's Revelation 16 and thinking we're here yet. We're not quite there yet. Start just focusing on what you can do, what you can control right now. And that's my best advice for you, Look at me physically. I'm not buff by any means, so I don't have too much physical advice for you beyond what I've already said. So, any questions about that advice while I come to a close today? Yeah, I almost forgot this. You know why I picked Old Bay seasoning? It boils down to everything you need in one. This goes great on anything. It has the salt, the pepper, all in one. Any other spices, all in one, So, this is everything you need all in one. And it will last you forever. You get 10 of these, you're good for the next decade, probably. Alright? So, just use this. And it just, short, sweet, and simple. It makes that bland meal taste a lot better. Because sometimes canned food can be bland as well, with all those preservatives and stuff they put in there. So that's everything with your food, perhaps your spiritual and physical preparations as a newbie. Have a look around. If you're ready to shop, just go to Jamie over there. She can help you check out your things, okay? It was my pleasure, honor and privilege to help you today and give you some advice. Anytime, come back in, ask for me, and I'll be more than glad to assist you. Maybe next time around I could see you as an intermediate prepper rather than a new beginner. Alright, take care now.